Pisces. Hello Pisces. Welcome to your reading. This is a reading for the 21st to the 28th of Nov. Okay, boundaries. So, place your boundaries and don't allow people to step over them. Animals. Interesting. So, a love for animals could be animal spirit guides. There is a wolf, there is a cat, there is a dove. Oh, there are two cats. No, there's a wolf, there's an owl, there's a cat, there's a dove. Manifestation. Thoughts becoming things. What we think about, we bring about. What we are thinking about is thinking about us. Blessings. Really quite similar to the Scorpio reading, has to be said. This deck. So some really good energy going on there. Throat chakra. So this to me relates to the boundaries card, your first card. Set your boundaries and don't allow people to step over them. And the throat chakra is about speaking. As you can see, my speaking is great. Stand your ground, hilarious. So this is obviously quite an important message. Don't be afraid to assert yourself in certain situations. Place those boundaries and don't allow people to step over them. And if they do, then don't renege on whatever you thought you were gonna do. I'm not saying, don't be a jerk about it. But if you had it in your mind, rather than sort of drawing out a list and saying, if you step over this, if you do this, then I will do this. Rather than that, just have it in your mind. I've told them I don't want them to do that anymore, and if they do that again, then I'm going to disengage from this or that. Yeah, I'm not talking about a list of rules which someone needs to adhere to. That would be a bit authoritarian. Movement, choices, and decisions. Decisions to be made. That's good. I'm getting like a 7 of Cups energy there. It comes, the stand your ground is a 7 card, number 7. What have we got? 5, 6, 7 and 7. Throat chakra and the movement, decisions and choices is a 2, 7. The stand your ground is a 7. And I didn't even look at this card, but surprise, surprise, it's a 7. Choose wisely. Choose wisely, because I think certain choices, what was I just saying about the 7 of Cups? Amazing. But obviously there is luck in certain choices. There is a lucky path to be taking. I do believe that we make our own luck, though, as well as just dumb luck. But I do believe there is dumb luck, too. Okay. Number 18. Shadow. Now, this card has never come out before, Pisces. I always find it interesting when that happens. I mean, I've probably done well over 100 readings with that deck. Shadow work, shadow self. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do shadow work. That it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you are being called to do right now. Okay, now for the meat and potatoes. Or the prawn and avocados if you're vegetarian. Eek. Okay. First card, central energy, current energy, fear, worry. You need to get out of your head. The 9 of Swords. Amazing. Okay, so 4 cards have come out there. 1 in a horizontal position, like it is crossing. So get out of your head when it comes to love. So for some, that could be stop ruminating, stop reminiscing. For others, that could be if there's a certain person that you've got your eye on and you're just like hoping for a situation to manifest itself. I think you've already done enough. I don't think you need to be worrying about it anymore. Page of Wands. I really like this Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is about being active. Could be meaning a new project. But generally, it's like some sort of new creative idea. It is in the foundation of your reading. The foundation of your cross. With the 7 of Swords in your past position. Now, this has been coming up. It's not the first time that it's shown up in the past position for this week alone. So it has been coming up recently, so it is kind of a collective energy. But considering the 2 of Cups is the crossing energy, yeah, it could be to do with a lying, cheating, stealing romantic partner. Could be. Okay, 2 cards for your headspace. We've got the Knight of Cups. So it does look like you have got your mind on love. You have got your mind on let me just gather myself so I can speak properly. On a romantic partner. Could be a fire sign, Queen of Wands. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be any sign. Every time I say that, I can always hear someone thinking, but no, I was with a Taurus. I was with a Gemini. And Geminis aren't right for me. It's like, it just doesn't work like that. Okay, And in your future position, who else? Was it Cancer? Pisces, your fellow water sign Cancer, I think, had the devil in the future position. And to them, it was like working like a devil. What I really, really like about this devil card is, look what he's holding in his hand there. A key. I think that's very important to note. A key. Keys are a very sacred geometry, a very sacred symbol. There are key, like keystone symbology all over the planet, absolutely everywhere. That you can only tell they're a key by looking at them from above, which is kind of like a circle with a triangle. I wouldn't say an equilateral triangle, I would say an isosceles. Okay, the Queen of Swords. Thinking before acting. Being self-sufficient. And also being totally honest with yourself. That is also a Libra energy. I mean, it is an air energy, so... Okay, right next to the devil, very similar to Cancer had the Ten of Wands on the devil. Upon clarification, you have the Ten of Wands right next to it in your environment position. So I do think you are working too hard. I do think you need to just take a step back, relax. King of Wands. Yeah, I was just getting a message there about like burning too brightly. I was getting a burnout message. Burning too brightly. For the light that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and you have burned so very, very brightly. King of Swords. In your outcome position. Not far away from the Queen of Swords. So divine counterparts showing up there. That line, by the way, the light that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and you have burned so very, very brightly, is from Blade Runner. We've got the Two of Wands on the Nine of Swords. Okay, Pisces, so you do need to get out of your head. And I think very simply, you're being asked to get out into nature. But that is two twos. There were two twos right touching each other. And for the next two, for the crossing two, the Two of Cups, if we get another two, I'm going to take that as a really good sign for relationships. It's a zero. Zero, the hero. The Fool. Don't be afraid to walk in the dark. The Nine of Swords can mean light at the end of the tunnel. And as we can see, there is only so long that this can be the case before there will be light at the end of the tunnel. So on the Page of Wands, you've got the Seven of Pentacles. So any creative ideas that you've been thinking of doing, or you have already started, I think there needs to be maybe a few tweaks, a few adjustments. But it's still a good idea. Just because it might not have had immediate success doesn't mean that it's not a good idea. Okay, and on the Seven of Swords, Ace of Wands, a truth being revealed. Sorry, that isn't the meaning of the Ace of Wands, but I'm going to stick with it because it's what came out without even thinking. Focus, please. Actually, I'm seeing that red cape as a bit of a warning. But it's showing up in the past position, so you already, there was a red flag flapping around about a person that you were romantically involved with, and you should have trusted your instincts. People do speak what they are in many situations. I've noticed this. This happens to me all the time. The very words that come out of people's mouth can give a massive clue as to what is making them tick. One of my key words for this is the EGO. You will never, well, you won't never, but that word hardly ever comes out my mouth. But I have noticed that people who say that word often are having problems with theirs. There's nothing wrong with having one. There's nothing wrong with having an ego. Nothing wrong with the size of it. It's being egotistical that is the problem. I know people with some really big egos who are very, very easy to work with. And they never use the word. It's very interesting. Novice of Pentacles. So a beginning in a creative endeavor that will bring prosperity. It is something that you love. It is something that you're passionate about. Because it is on the Knight in Shining Armor card, the Knight of Cups. Okay, so for the Queen of Wands, we have... Wow, the Novice of Pentacles and then the Novice of Swords. So multi-skilled. Multi-talented. That is interesting. I'm getting manifestation energy there. And on the Devil, we have the Chariot. So the key to your success looks like it's to do with moving. Moving house. The Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is one of my little clue cards for love. And it is on the Queen of Swords, and you do have the King of Swords showing up in this reading. Okay, what have we got for the Ten of Wands? Okay, we have the Sun. But that, in this instance, in this reading, is telling me that you really do need to take a break. You literally do need to go and lie on a beach. Literally. I know it's right there in the imagery, and that seems really obvious because she is on a beach. But from Burnout, you do need to do that. But the Sun, great. Okay, King of Wands, the Novice of Chalices. So you have all three of them. So some studying might be necessary. Novice of Pentacles, Novice of Swords, Novice of Cups. And what have we got on the final card? What have we got on the King of Swords? The King of Swords, thinking before acting, being logical, having a plan, being an intentional leader, being strategic, having strategic thought, having a plan A, plan B, plan C. Actually, though, there is a theory, because I heard it recently. Don't have a plan B or C. Make plan A work. Interesting theory. It definitely has merit. Okay, so you've got Novice of Pentacles, Novice of Swords, Novice of Cups. The Initiate of Swords on the King of Swords. So we really are getting some court cards here, really lining up. The Initiate of Swords on the King of Swords. I'm definitely getting an educational thing, mind study, with the amount of swords cards that we have at the end here. And this completely ties in with this going away on holiday, taking a break. Step back from the doing and just step into the being. After all, we are called human beings. We're not called human doings. Although obviously doing is a very important part of being. Like Wu Wei, doing, not doing. Doesn't mean not doing anything. Doing, not doing. I love that. Wu Wei. I think it's W-U-W-E-I. I think. It might not be, but I think it is. Doing, not doing. But it doesn't mean not doing. But it definitely means going with the flow of life, going with the grain. Like you take an axe to wood, you cut with the grain of the wood to make it really split in half, rather than against the grain. You shave with the grain. If you shave against the grain, you'll have breakouts. Okay. Surrender. Enough of the hygiene lecture. Surrender. Whatever you resist in life persists. Ask your angels to help you dissolve all the resistances of your ego. Interesting. I mean, I went off on a bit of a rant about ego there, didn't I? In brackets, the inner conflict and struggle, the rigid mindsets and habits. So that they can, so let's go back to the beginning. Whatever you resist in life persists. Ask your angels to help you dissolve all the resistances of your ego, the inner conflict, the struggle, the rigid mindsets and habits, so that they can flood your life, the angels can flood your life with higher truth and joy. When you surrender to the guidance of your higher self, all the energy you have been using in resistance becomes available to you. Vitality, inner peace, harmony, and most of all, love are your spiritual rewards. So flow with the pace of life, relax and tune in, then follow the guidance of your intuition, knowing that the angels will support you at all times. The affirmation with this card is, I surrender to the flow of life. Wu Wei. Isn't that amazing? Wu Wei. Doing, not doing. surrendering to the flow of life. Isn't that just amazing? Don't forget to check your moon and rising sign, okay, Pisces? Thanks very much for being here. I truly, totally appreciate it. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.